The Bremen Town Musicians. Brothers Grimm. One man had a donkey who for many years dutifully carried sacks of flour to the mill, but in old age the donkey became weak and unfit for work. Miller and donkey, then the owner, decided to starve him to death, but the donkey guessed what was going on, ran away and headed for the city of Bremen. He decided to work there as a musician. Donkey playing guitar. After walking a little, the donkey saw a hunting dog. She lay on the road and breathed so heavily, as if running to the point of exhaustion. "Why are you puffing like that, Polkin?" asked the donkey. "Oh," answered the dog, "I am old and every day getting weaker and no longer fit for hunting, so my master wanted to kill me. I ran wherever my eyes look. What am I going to do to earn my living now?" "You know what," said the donkey, "I'm going to Bremen and I'll hire myself as a musician there. Come with me and make music too. I will play the lute and you will beat the drum." The dog agreed and they moved on. Soon they saw a cat on the road. She sat on the road as dull as 3 days of rainy weather. "What happened to you, old stink?" asked the donkey. "Who will rejoice if they grabbed him by the throat? My teeth are gone, and now I am more willing to sit at the stove and purr than chasing mice, so my mistress decided to drown me. And of course, I ran away, but who will advise me where to go now? Come with us to Bremen, you know a lot about music and you can get hired as a musician there." The cat liked it and they went together. Then our fugitives passed by a courtyard. A rooster sat on the gate and roared with all his might. "Why are you choking your throat like that?" asked the donkey. "What's the matter with you?" "It is I who predict good weather for tomorrow," answered the rooster, "because tomorrow is a holiday, but since guests will come to us on this occasion, my mistress, without any mercy, ordered the cook to cook soup from me. I'm going to have my head cut off tonight. So I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, while I still can." "Well, you, red-headed," said the donkey, "we'd better go with us. We are heading to Bremen. You will find something better than death everywhere. You have a good voice, and if we sing in chorus, it will turn out great." The rooster liked this offer and the four of them went on. But they could not get to Bremen in one day, and in the evening they came to the forest, where they decided to spend the night. The donkey and the dog sat under a large tree, the cat perched on the branches, and the rooster flew to the very top of the tree, where it seemed to him the safest. Before falling asleep, the rooster looked in all four directions, and suddenly it seemed to him that he saw a light in the distance. He shouted to his comrades that the house must be close, because the light was visible. "Then we must go there. I do not like this lodging for the night," said the donkey. And the dog noticed that a few bones with the remains of meat would be very useful to her. So, they went in the direction where the light flickered. The light grew stronger and stronger, and finally they came to the brightly lit house of the robbers. The donkey, as the tallest, approached the window and looked inside. "What do you see, Gray?" the rooster asked. "What do I see?" answered the donkey. "A set table with good food and drink. And the robbers sit around and have fun." "It won't be bad for us either," said the rooster. Yes. If we were there," the donkey sighed. Then they began to consult on how they could drive out the robbers. And, finally, they came up with. The donkey stood with its front legs on the window, the dogs jumped on its back to the donkey, the cat climbed on the dog, and the rooster flew up on the cat's head. When this was done, they began their music at once. The donkey roared, the dog barked, the cat mewed, the rooster crowed. Then they rushed through the window into the room, so that the glasses rang. The robbers jumped up from their seats with terrible screams. They thought that a ghost had come to them, and in great fear they fled into the forest. Then the four friends sat down at the table and began to eat up everything that was left with pleasure. They ate as if they had to eat for 4 weeks. After finishing their meal, the musicians turned off the lights and began to look for a place to rest, each according to his own taste and habits. The donkey laid down in the yard on a heap of rubbish, the dog behind the door, the cat on the hearth in a warm place, and the rooster perched on a perch. And since they were very tired after a long journey, they immediately fell asleep. When midnight had passed, and the robbers had already noticed from a distance that there was no light on in the house, and everything seemed to be calm, the Ottoman said, "We shouldn't have let them intimidate us like that, though." And he ordered one of the robbers to go and inspect the house. The messenger, making sure that not everything was calm, went into the kitchen to light the fire. And since he mistook the sparkling eyes of a cat for smoldering coals, he put a match in there to get a spark. But the cat did not like to joke. She rushed at the robber and grabbed his face. He was terribly frightened, rushed to run, and was about to jump out into the yard, but the dog that was lying outside the door jumped up and bit him on the leg. As he raced across the yard past the rubbish heap, the donkey kicked him hard with its hind leg. And the rooster, which was awakened by the noise, cheerfully screamed from its perch, "Coo-ca-ree-coo." The robber started running with all his might to his chieftain and told him, "Oh, there's a terrible witch in the house. She hissed at me, scratched my face with her long claws. There was a man standing outside the door with a knife. He wounded me in the leg. There was a black monster lying in the yard, which attacked me with a club. And upstairs on the roof sits a judge. He will scream, 'Give me this swindler here.'" This is where I started to run. Since then, the robbers no longer dared to approach the house. And the 4 Bremen musicians liked it so much in the house of robbers that they stayed there to live.